toward a unified Naga peace accord. Kitovi Jimomi's vision amidst prolonged struggles. In a fervent appeal for reconciliation and a consolidated resolution to the long-standing Indo-Naga political deadlock, Kitovi Jimomi, the Ato Kilonsa of the Gprn Nscn, urged for the integration of the framework agreement and the agreed position into a singular, inclusive solution. His call came during a symbolic reunion program at the Gprn Nscn designated camp in Kitovi Newland district on April 16th, an event laden with both historical weight and present-day urgency. The timing of this public address was significant, following internal turbulence within the Gprn, Nscn, and the re-establishment of the faction's control over the Kitovi camp on March 22nd. It also comes closely after the extension of the ceasefire agreement between Gprn/Nscn and the Government of India, a temporary measure that hints at continued diplomatic engagement yet underscores the lack of permanent resolution. Speaking to the press, Kitovi emphasized the critical necessity for unity within the Naga political movement. What we are saying to the Government of India is this: as of now, we have two historical agreements, the framework agreement and the agreed position. So why not take both the agreements, compile them, and come up with a common draft or a common solution? He questioned. His words encapsulate a deep yearning for harmony among Naga political groups, who, despite fighting for a shared vision of self-determination, remain divided in approach and ideology. The roots of the Naga political issue. To understand Kitovi's appeal, one must appreciate the historical complexity of the Naga political issue. Since the mid-20th century, the Naga people have been engaged in a fierce struggle for political autonomy and identity. This has manifested in decades of insurgency, ceasefires, and negotiations. The crux of the issue lies in the demand for a sovereign Naga homeland that includes all Naga-inhabited areas across multiple Indian states and even into Myanmar. A vision encapsulated in the idea of Nagalim. Over the decades, several agreements have been signed, most notably the 16-point agreement in 1960, which led to the creation of Nagaland as a state in the Indian Union. While this agreement brought political recognition and relative stability, it failed to satisfy all sections of the Naga movement, particularly underground factions, who viewed it as a compromise that diluted the aspiration for full sovereignty. The framework agreement and the agreed position, parallel paths? In recent years, two agreements have taken center stage in the peace talks. The framework agreement, signed between the Government of India and Nscn-IM in 2015, and the agreed position, inked in 2017 between the Indian government and the Working Committee of the NNPGs, Naga National Political Groups, which includes Gprn, Nscn. While the framework agreement is often shrouded in ambiguity, its full contents have never been publicly disclosed. The Nscn-IM claims that it recognizes the unique history and identity of the Nagas and provides for a form of shared sovereignty. The agreed position, on the other hand, appears to accept the Indian Constitution while seeking special autonomy through constitutional and administrative safeguards. Kitovi's suggestion to merge the spirit and substance of both agreements into a unified solution challenges the prevailing narrative that the Naga solution must come from a singular framework. He advocates an inclusive dialogue that acknowledges the legitimacy of both paths and brings all stakeholders together under one accord. There will be only one agreement and only one solution for all the Nagas, not for NNPG alone, or for Nscn-IM alone, he said, stressing collective ownership over fragmentation. Internal divisions, a thorn in the path to peace. A major impediment to the Naga peace process has been the deep schism among Naga political factions. The rivalry between Nscn-IM and other groups such as the NNPGs has fostered mistrust, delayed progress, and, at times, reignited violence. Kitovi acknowledged this reality and pointed out that despite their differences, none of the factions have succeeded in achieving a final resolution through bloodshed. We do not want bloodshed now. We don't want to kill others, nor do we want to die, he declared. The internal power struggles have also taken a toll on the people and leadership. Kitovi addressed his own impeachment within the Gprn/Nscn, which he described as a move intended to obscure internal corruption. This reflects the broader crisis of governance and transparency within insurgent organizations that often operate in opaque structures of command and ideology. Furthermore, Kitovi of the GHQ, Naga army, echoed this exhaustion. The military is tired of so much fighting. Our families and our children have seen it all. There are too many widows, and those with no fathers and mothers unable to raise their children, he said, speaking from the emotional core of a movement that has sacrificed generations. The socio-economic toll and the need for a future vision. Kitovi's address was not limited to political reconciliation. He pointed to a critical, often overlooked consequence of the prolonged conflict, its socio-economic stagnation. Nagaland has over 90,000 registered, educated, unemployed youth, with the actual number likely exceeding 1 lakh, he stated, raising concerns for future generations. While the 16-point agreement may have provided a foundation for the state's creation, it has not translated into holistic development. Kitovi posed a pertinent question. For our children's children, what is there? This rhetorical inquiry highlights the need for a concrete roadmap that goes beyond mere political arrangements to encompass education, employment, infrastructure, and a dignified future. A call for intellectual struggle, not armed conflict. At the heart of Kitovi's message lies a profound ideological pivot. Whatever may happen now, the Naga civil authorities and the leadership should fight with their brains, he urged. The transition from armed struggle to intellectual engagement is not just tactical. It reflects the maturing aspirations of a people who seek dignity, not domination. The Gprn/Nscn designated camp, formerly known as the Unification Camp, has itself been a symbol of both hope and irony, an attempt at unity that instead gave rise to further splinters. Kitovi's call to reclaim it as a place of convergence signals a renewed desire for cohesion and a fresh start. The imperative of unity. As the Naga political movement stands at a critical juncture, Kitovi Jimomi's appeal is both a reflection of past failures and a blueprint for future action. His call to integrate existing agreements, reconcile internal divisions, and replace violence with vision underscores the necessity for a unified Naga voice in negotiations with New Delhi. The Naga struggle, rich in history and sacrifice, can only find fulfillment when all its constituents, regardless of faction, come together not merely in form, but in spirit. The path ahead may still be long, but without unity, even the most promising agreements may lead nowhere. Thank you for tuning in to Zalangam Media. Please subscribe. Also, don't forget to share this video.